Imagine moving into a perfect suburban neighborhood, where every lawn is trimmed, every smile looks welcoming, and the homeowners association promises peace and security. But what if the rules weren't just strict? They were deadly. This is the story of James Collier, and the house that didn't just shelter him, it hungered for him.
James Collier had never wanted to live in the suburbs. He preferred the chaos of the city, where no one cared who you were or what you did. But when the Homeowners Association of Cedar Pines Estate sent him a letter promising peace, security, and a community that truly cares, he felt strangely drawn. The letter was not just paper. It smelled faintly of damp earth, and the ink shimmered like it was alive. The price was suspiciously low for a sprawling house with manicured lawns. His realtor couldn't explain it, only that the HOA wants good people here. James signed without hesitation, convincing himself it was just his lucky break. When he moved in, neighbors welcomed him with smiles that seemed stretched too wide, their eyes gleaming with something he couldn't place. "You'll love it here," one woman whispered, squeezing his hand just a little too hard. "The HOA takes care of everything." Breathing. By morning, his mailbox contained a thick HOA rulebook. The cover bore no words, only an embossed symbol, a circle of intertwined branches with a hollow center. Inside, the rules were unlike anything James expected. Rule 6. Do not let the lawn grow past 3 inches. The grass hungers. Rule 9. Attend every monthly meeting. Absences noticed. Rule 13. Never look directly at the house after midnight. James laughed at first, assuming it was some local prank. But the laughter died when he saw his front yard. The grass had grown overnight, tall and dark green, brushing against his window like fingers. Later, he met Mr. and Mrs. Harrow, the HOA leaders. Their smiles were perfect, but their skin looked pale, almost waxy. "Follow the rules," Mrs. Harrow said softly, her eyes never blinking, "or the house will enforce them for us." That evening, James tried trimming the lawn. As the mower cut the grass, he heard faint screams rising with every blade severed. His hands shook, but he couldn't stop. At the first HOA meeting, James sat in a circle of 30 homeowners inside the community hall. No one spoke above a whisper. At the center of the room stood a massive oak root bursting through the wooden floor, its bark twisted with faces, human faces, screaming silently. The Harrows began reciting rules like a sacred chant. Every homeowner repeated them word for word, their voices dull, lifeless. James felt something tug at his mind, urging him to join. He resisted, whispering instead of chanting. Mrs. Harrow noticed. "You'll understand soon," she said with that fixed smile. The house teaches obedience. When James returned home, he found his kitchen walls damp with soil, earthworms crawling from the cracks. On the counter sat a plate of meat he hadn't cooked. The meat pulsed faintly, like it was still alive. He threw it out, but by midnight, the same plate reappeared, this time on his bedside table. Days turned into weeks, and the house's demands grew worse. If James missed watering the lawn by even a minute, black weeds sprouted instantly, creeping toward his doors. One night, exhausted, he ignored Rule 13 and looked directly at the house's reflection in his darkened window. What he saw was not his home, but a swollen, fleshy mass, walls made of skin, windows blinking like eyes, roots writhed like veins beneath the foundation. The house saw him. The next morning, James woke to find claw marks on his arms and chest, as though something had tried to drag him into the floor while he slept. His neighbor, Mrs. Kells, waved to him outside. Her smile revealed teeth too sharp, too many. "It's always harder for the new ones," she said. James realized then the neighbors weren't surviving. They were consumed, slowly, piece by piece. James decided to escape. He packed his bags, stuffed the HOA rulebook in his jacket, and tried to leave by car. But every road curved back into Cedar Pines Estate, no matter which turn he took. The houses seemed to shift, the streets reordering themselves like a maze. At dusk, his headlights illuminated dozens of neighbors, standing silently at the street corners, watching him. Their eyes glowed faintly green. Finally, his car stalled near the entrance gate. He got out and slammed the rulebook against the ground in anger. To his horror, the earth split open, swallowing the book whole. From beneath the soil, a deep voice whispered through the roots. "You signed a covenant, James. The house owns you now." Terrified, James staggered back toward his home. The front door opened by itself, breathing warm air like lungs. He realized there was no escape. The house was hungry,